drills your dad did with you growing up that you think have really contributed to how accurate you are with the football?
I think it's a lot of it's God gifted. Also with him teaching mechanics, footwork, like I said, arm motion, all of that. But as far as being accurate goes, I think you either are or you aren't. I don't think you can really become accurate. So he's definitely. I mean, like I said many times, he taught me how to throw the ball. So yeah.
How old were you when you started teaching?
Played running back up until Pee Wee. Best player on the team usually plays running back. So I started playing quarterback. I think when I was probably 8.
Did he have you practice at any targets, or were you just throwing to people to catch?
People for the most part. Yeah.
Were there specific drills he would do with you?
A lot. I did a lot. Yeah. Things. Just whether it was throwing in the street, it didn't really matter. If there was a football, we were throwing it. So.
Kyler, there's so much talk that Cliff has talked about how you guys are not going to show your offense. How do you then gauge where you are, considering this isn't really the offense that we're going to see in week 1?
I think for me, I kind of know what it looks like. So I know it'll work against teams. It's hard to prepare for this. What we will do. When the season comes. But right now, it's not like we're not running, our offense. It's part of it is our offense, but like at the same time, we're not doing, we're not game planning anybody right now. We're just going in there and trying to execute what he calls. But I have confidence in it. And, obviously right now, like you said, we're not really giving everybody the full thing, but I think when we get out there, full speed, moving around, it'll be good.
What makes you say that?
Just because I've been in it for so long, I know what it looks like. I know how it works, and like I said, it's tough to stop. At any level, I think it'll be tough to stop.
Do you have a sense that Cliff is going to come up with some creative game plans and put you guys in good positions?
Hell, I hope so. Yeah. Yeah.
How much do you want to play?
I don't think he'd be here if he wasn't.
How much do you want to play this week?
It's another opportunity to go out there and play the game of football. I don't know how long I'll play, but looking forward to it.
You get more reps, obviously.
I think so.
How did you learn how to balance your touch with your velocity and your power passes?
I think a lot. My dad teaching me, different type of balls. How to throw, certain routes, stuff like that. Seeing him do it, obviously, because he played the game, he did it. Playing catch with him, you see somebody do it for so long, you just naturally kind of have a feel for it. And then, like I said, being gifted kind of helps.
How much did baseball help you? You can throw the ball from different angles. You don't have to really plant your foot to throw with velocity. And it seems like other guys that play baseball have done the same.
Huh. Yeah. My bad. It helps a lot.
But how do you manage throwing your cross the field passes? Are you getting more confident with those throws that are kind of tougher at this level?
I don't know what you're asking.
Across the field throws when you got to really, that's a lot more. I would imagine at this level it's a little more difficult.
Across the field isn't like them, like rolling out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get guys close quicker. I'm starting to learn, what I can and cannot do as far as, fitting it into holes. The windows are gonna be tight. That's just part of it. But it's whether or not you want to take the risk or not. So I'm starting to get there.
How do interceptions bother you in practice? And it's only camp, but do they bother you? Or just a little bit, or is it each one different? How do you feel about it?
I don't. To be honest, I don't really care. It is what it is. You gotta have short memory, but for me, it's just a learning experience. Most of the time, it's us not being on the same page. I give credit where credit's due, but usually it's on us. So yeah, it is what it is. I can't really hold on to it too long next play.
So you said being accurate is a gift. So when you started playing quarterback, I think you said you were 8. Were you accurate right away? I mean, for that
I
age?
mean, you know, you get the mechanics down, you get your arm, you know, your motion down, and you learn how to spin it. But I think with time, you know, you just get a feel for it. But yeah, I'd have to say I was pretty accurate from being able to gauge distance and depth and stuff like that.
Play with you and Christian today, you guys were not on the same page on that route?
Not on the same page. Interception.
Sorry. You have a unique role being the first pick, starting quarterback, but are the veterans still having you do anything like get snacks for them, any of those rookie things?
Besides singing, we don't, because our room is we're pretty young. Me, you know, Drew and Chad, Brett's the oldest guy, so nothing too crazy. Not like the linemen.
What do you sing?
Well, I sung all my life, Casey and JoJo. I think they played it on TV, right? Yeah.
Not bad.
Told you.
Going up against Patrick Peterson, which Cliff mentioned today, that you might have told you to stay away from him.
Yeah, he's told me a couple of times, just because, I mean, he's made me pay a couple of times, you know, but some of them I know I'm not supposed to throw, and I'll throw it anyways, but it is what it is. Like I said, I've said it, you know, just having him out here for the time being, having to use him, you know, asking him questions on, you know, what works as far as routes go and stuff like that, what he sees, helps a lot just because, you know, he is one of the greatest to play the game, so.
Obviously, you know, there's a battle between that, and then there's also battles between the receiving core and the DBs. How do you think that could help both sides get better?
I mean, you're in the NFL. You know, they're seeing the best. The opposing side's seeing the best. So them going at it each and every day, you know, I just think that the competition every single day just gets, you know, you're bound to get better. So.
What did you think when DJ got the pick and drop kicked it afterwards today?
Drop kicked it.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't. I don't know. He's a wild guy. So, yeah. Swearinger? Yeah.
Kyler, is there anything you want to improve on that maybe you thought, hey, week 2, I'm going to do this instead of this from the
From
Chargers?
last week?
From the Chargers.
Like I said, I mean, I thought it was pretty smooth. I think threw the ball like 7 times, handed it off a couple times. Just try to build on that. You know, it wasn't. I didn't play enough. I don't know. It wasn't. You know, didn't play too much. So, try to go out there and have another good showing, I guess.
Some quarterbacks feel like they need to get hit before the season starts to kind of get their.
I don't need it. No. No. No.
Hanging out with Terrell Suggs. Okay.
Well, he's a veteran, so I don't know. It's a different, you know, aspect. He's not like he's old enough to be like my dad, so it's like.
Let's get a costume.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's not like we're hanging out or anything like that. So,
What did you think of him being on the team, being teammates?
I mean, you need those type of guys. You know, he prides himself on winning. He's won a lot, so I think I know culture is a big part of you know, any organization or team. And, you know, you got guys that know how to win. I think things work out that way. So he's done it a lot, and you know, I think he'll play a huge part for us.
He's not that old.
There's an age gap.
Like, what is he? 30?
36?
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's not that old. He's not that old.
There's an age gap with you and you as well, but considering you guys have to work closely together, how's that relationship been?
Yeah, no, we talk a lot more just because you know, he's the center, so our relationship's a little different. But working with him's been great. You know, having a veteran center definitely has helped me out a lot for sure.
Kyler, in the huddle, you're the guy that knows the offense better than anybody else there. How much are you having to remind guys what to do, where to be, what route, whatever?
I think everybody's picked it up so far pretty well. There'll be tweaks here and there just because obviously this is brand new to everyone. And it's a long season, so, you know, we'll have to adjust as it goes. But so far, I think it's everybody's on the same page for the most part.
Have you had to do that at all?
I mean, yeah, here and there just because it goes, you know, what I like, what Coach likes. You know, it's pretty quarterback friendly. So if I see something that, you know, I think should be this way or that way. If I say something, then most likely we'll get it fixed. But other than that, nah, for the most part, everybody's on the same page.
So you talked about you checking at the line. Is that something you're doing at the line or in the huddle?
At the line.
Why no headband today?
Just letting the hair breathe, I guess. Yeah,
New cleats out there today?
I know. I didn't like it. It felt weird.
What's the plan as you get ready for the Raiders Thursday night, the rest of this week now that you're in game week?
Similar to last week, continue to really work on our install and, going good on good and getting that work. But then Tuesday, Wednesday, focus some on their schemes and what they're doing. Not a ton, but enough to go out there and be able to execute at a high level.
Was last week's game vanilla? The offense that you ran, was that just vanilla stuff?
You'll have to tune in week 1 to find out.
How much do you expect Kyler to play Thursday?
More. I don't know how much more, but we'll see how the game's going. But definitely more than one drive.
Now that Andy's returned, what have you been able to see the last couple of days? You see the explosion coming back?
He has that. I think, he's a guy who in our system needs a lot of work, needs the reps, and we really thought he was making a good push. But it's hard when you've been out, so it'll take a few days for him to get back in rhythm. But very hard worker, very conscientious about his approach, and so I expect him to pick back up here quickly.
Do you know who's not playing for you Thursday?
I do not. We'll have that discussion. I mean, we have a feel for it, but we'll have the discussion tomorrow and figure that out. But I would expect, from what I've seen, most guys to be going.
Even Pugh?
I don't think Pugh will be back this week, but we're hoping Minnesota.
Kyler talked about, when he came out that first game, he asked you a couple of times, are we done, like wanting to get back in. What's that like for you? Do you like a guy wanting to get back in and get some more action like that?
Of course, yeah, and a lot of those guys wanted to keep going. But we got to be smart, and he understands that, and you love the competitive nature of those guys.
Looking at the defensive line, you have a couple guys who have been around the league, Terrell McLean and Sterling Bailey. What have you seen from them? Are those guys that can make a push for a roster spot?
We hope so. I mean, that's why we brought him in. I think Terrell's a guy who's had success in this league, and a pro's pro, shows up, works hard, knows his assignment, and so he's done a really nice job in camp. And with some of the lack of depth now, he's a guy we're counting on to step up and have a prominent role.
Has anything stood out to you about Kardec's work ethic?
All of it. I think, everything he does is 110%, and whether it's, the film study or the preparation or the weight room or the sprints. I mean, he's going to give you everything he's got. I mean, he's the first one when you're breaking the team down, he sprints over there. I mean, he just he has that mindset that he's going to not be denied in anything he does, and so that's obviously inspiring to watch, and it's good to have it as part of your team.
Have you noticed anything throughout your career from guys who don't have the silver spoon their whole life, football career?
Yeah, I think certain guys, they just want it more than others, and it doesn't matter where they come from or what they were given or what they weren't given. They just want it more than other guys, and they refuse to not get where they want to be, and he's one of those guys.
How much of a concern was it that the Chargers gained almost 180 yards rushing? I mean, has there been focus this week on trying to slow that down?
Yeah, obviously, we needed to be better on the run game against them, and 87 of those yards were on quarterback scrambles, which is something we gotta eliminate. Tyrod's a great, athletic quarterback and could be a starter in this league very easily, but we can't allow him to run wild like that, and so that's definitely been an emphasis this week.
Since that was an issue for the team last year, now you're refiguring the D-line. How much of a concern is that right now?
Of course, anytime you're in preseason and you see an area that didn't look great in the game, you want to address it, and that's what we're doing. And so I don't know, it's early in this process to panic, but we need to show improvement this week in the run game.
Cliff, there's been so much
of what we've seen in the shotgun, and yet yesterday, when you guys were in the red zone, there was under center. What can we read into that?
We're going to mix it up and basically do what's best for our offense. If we feel like there's certain plays we need to be under, we're going to get under, and if not, we'll be in shotgun. And I think you've seen that trend, and a lot of NFL teams continue to go that way.
What are you seeing from Brett Hundley that makes you feel better about having him on your team?
Yeah, I think he's improved each week. I thought he handled that 2-minute drill, like I talked about after the game, really well. Great leadership as far as work ethic and high energy, high character, and so you can't have enough of those guys.
Are all the rookie receivers showing you enough to make this team?
As far as the draft picks? Yeah, I think, we have 3 more weeks to figure that out. But, we really like what we've seen so far from those guys. I think, each one brings something different. Andy is, one of the fastest players on the team and explosive. And Hakeem has the size and runs a 4.49 and can go up and be a physical presence. And then Keyshawn's one of the best route runners. So there's a good mix there. Young guys, we wanted to bring in 3 draft picks to kind of grow with Kyler. And so it'll be a process, but we like what we've seen.
Cliff, what are the benefits of being under center in the red zone as opposed to being in the shotgun?
Your guess is as good as mine, I don't know. Somebody had to explain that one to me, but I don't know. I can't tell you. There's certain plays where we may feel, the mesh point for the running back or it's a more downhill path, things of that nature if we needed to hit quicker. But other than that, certain people have different opinions. I don't think anything's ever been proven to be right or wrong when it comes to that.
I don't think you want me.
What'd you think of
You give me some baseball analogy, I'm sure.
What did you think of Sunday's practice?
Sunday's practice? In what regard?
Was there anything that jumped out to you that made you go, okay, that's good? Like there was some more physicality, it looked like?
Yeah, I think there was. I think anytime you're coming off a significant kind of break in the action, we had the game, had an off day, came back in spiders and then put the pads on. You want to see that, and then I felt like the guys attacked it and were physical and getting after it.
What's it like seeing Pete Robertson, knowing him for a long time, and he's obviously competing, trying to make this team? Is it more personal knowing that you've been with him on a longer journey?
I think just there's a sense of pride knowing where he came from and how much he's grown up and watching his professionalism, his work ethic, his toughness from where when you have another 17-year-old kid, what he was. And so that makes it fun.
I know you're newer to this team, but given the recent off-the-field issues with both players and front office, is there any level of a deeper concern in the organization?
No. We released our statement yesterday as an organization on what occurred, and I'll just leave that at that. But no, my experience here has been incredible, and show up every day honored and inspired to be here.
You talked about the accuracy of Kyler yesterday. In general, and being around this game for so long and playing it, can a guy really, especially once he gets to the NFL level, can he improve his accuracy, or is it one of those things where you're kind of accurate or you're not accurate?
I think that's one of those million-dollar questions that a lot of coaches have tried to figure out for a long time. But when you have it, you got it, and if you don't, it's hard, I think, at times to build it. But guys have improved. There's no doubt you can improve it. But a guy like him who is that accurate and throws with that type of touch, those are hard to come by.
Patrick said he's going to start dialing back as far as playing with the starters. Is that kind of the plan, get Byron and Tremaine ready to go for the
No question. As we build towards week 1, we wanted to make sure that those guys are getting enough reps to feel comfortable, because we're going to need them to be playing at a high level when week 1 comes. And we know what Pat is, what he can do. He's been great in camp so far, the way he's worked and helped those young guys. And so now it's kind of their time to step up and take over while he's out.
You feel like Tremaine is locked into that number 2 spot, or is Byron still in that mix?
I think Byron's still in the mix. We're really excited to have both of them. I mean, Tremaine's a veteran, very comfortable in this system. Felt like that was a huge gift for us in the offseason. And then obviously Byron, following us in the second round, super talented, just young, and needs all the reps he can get.
Does Kyler miss out on anything, not getting to face Pat as often?
just maybe throwing a few more interceptions from what I can tell. He likes going at him for whatever reason. I've tried to talk him out of it, but it's his competitive nature. But no, I think for all the receivers, right, if you're going against the best corner, you know, in the league or one of the best, that's great work, whether you're a quarterback or receiver. But he's still going to be getting reps. It's just not as prominent as he was.
Is that Pat's job when he comes back?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what we're excited to see. You know, the plan, we're going to have him on training-wise where it's, hey, that first Tuesday or whenever you're allowed back in the building, it's go time.
You said you got a chance to talk to a lot of NFL coaches through various reasons. You've known a lot of them, and the owners meeting probably got together. What's your relationship like with John Gruden? Is there anything between you guys?
Yeah, I've known him for a while, talked to him a few times, but, you know, nothing significant. I'm a big fan of his, and obviously the success he's had. He's very entertaining to watch and a great football mind.
I feel like Alfred has the right personality where he does have a big responsibility when Patrick's out to embrace being that number one guy.
He does. I mean, I think he's the type who loves competition. He wants to be the guy, and I think he sees this as a real opportunity to step up and help kind of lead that group of corners.
You see Alfred moving to the left corner for Pat, or staying on the right and then letting those two other guys play left?
I think we'll figure that out over the next couple of weeks, but I would assume he's going to stay for the most part.
Will he travel, like, with the other number one?
Same deal. Game plan-wise, we'll see how it's going, where we're at, what we feel will be, you know, best to use him.
Well, thank you.
Thank y'all.